Steve.
I know.
Gentlemen, this is my Christmas gift for me.
And you're wearing green.
I got green for Christmas. Thanks, buddy. Thank you. That's fine, thanks.
So everybody getting ready for the holiday and shopping done? No. You're probably not like us though. Last night we take the artificial tree that, and I'm Jewish, so, but my husband grew up Catholic. So we've always done both since we've been together, but I really kind of leave the Christmas part to him. So he got this artificial tree. It's got to be a decade old. So he puts it up last night and not a single strand is anything. And I think 2 years ago, last year we ended up with a real tree because they were giving them away at a BMX race. So 2 years ago, I remember we had to like put a strand on just to supplement. So, but this year, like not a single one. So literally last night he ran to Home Depot to get a new tree.
Oh, wow.
So I'm sure you're way ahead of us as far as holiday stuff, holiday organization. Good morning. Hi, Rose. Good morning.
It's just, we've got all the. Right. And you'll.
I did, but.
Yeah, and that's gonna be the. Yeah. Yeah. So I go from like contacts. Yeah. That's a few. Unless you actually just printed that out before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did. It's.
I've seen the plans. Yeah.
Very well.
Hello. How are you? Getting walks out. Okay. These two are the same. Yeah. Hello. You don't mind us being here? Why? How would I lie? No way. I'm not. It's good. Thanks here. Here's a couple blocks. Yeah. And hopefully we won't disrupt you. So the last, I don't mind. Yeah, and over there. So, okay, there's two more actually coming too, so.
Hey, you need more space, I can move over.
There's two more coming, first the last 5 minutes. There's two more coming.
Yeah,
that's two. And the most important.
And actually, we projects, they took.
Yeah, 9 to 10.
Yeah.
It really is the opposite benefit of the class.
So, she needs flowers. Here, listen, I don't know anything about this.
No, then
And those yours. Yes, I like the thought of this.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, right.
then down to this. So.
This is it. This is what we have left. Yeah, right? There you go.
We like it. Feels good. Because the sun's not out.
I know.
Where's the sun? All right. Oh, we got a full crew online. Hi, everyone from home. We're just getting going. So we had to get some more blocks out. And all right. Oh, is that Roselyn? Yay. All right. Let me get everyone muted here. All right. Great to see you all. All right. So everyone find a comfortable seat to start. Sit cross-legged. Yoga is so wonderful to do during a busy time. Hello, how are you? Oh, all these familiar faces. It's so wonderful. All right. I'm Nancy, for those who are here for the first time, joining us for the first time. This class is designed for really to be accessible to all. I try and provide a lot of instruction for alignment cues, and I try and take it slow enough for you to follow along. Look at Angela, there's a lot of people in the room who have been coming for a while, so if you are lost at any time, take a peek at your neighbor. Not to measure yourself against what your neighbor's doing, but just to know if you're moving in the right direction. But yoga is really about really yoking, bringing together mind, body, soul. So we do more than just the physical practice here in this hour. So we try and focus on our breathing, which helps to calm the mind. Do you want a little?
Yeah, I think so.
You and Nick are very
close.
I'm just like seeing a little, like, yeah.
I didn't want to be in your
You wouldn't hurt
space.
each other. Don't worry. You're not gonna hurt each other.
All right, so let's start by just grounding down, by rooting down and closing our eyes. Take a deep inhale through both nostrils, pause at the top of the breath, and then exhale it out slowly through the mouth for this breath. Take another inhale through both nostrils. This time, exhale it out through the nose slowly and feel the shoulders move away from the ears. Begin to let your thigh muscles relax. Feel your sit bones root down. So you feel really grounded in your seat. And in feeling grounded, feel like you can lengthen up through your spine and out through the crown of your head. Check in with your chin. Make it parallel with the mat, with the floor. And draw it back slightly. Might help you to feel a little bit lengthening of the cervical spine of the neck. To help calm the chatter going on in your mind, we'll start with a breathing technique called 3-part yogi breath. So as we do this breath, bring all your attention to doing the breath. We'll start first by inhaling and exhaling through the nose. And on the exhale, really push the breath all the way to the low part of your belly. And then on this next inhale, inhale just a third of the way. And now another third. And now another third. Reaching your collarbone, and exhale a third, and a third. Inhale a third, and a third. Exhale a third, and a third. Inhale a third, and a third. Exhale a third, and a third. Inhale a third, and a third. Exhale a third, and a third. Do one more round on your own. When that round's complete, take a full inhale through the nose and exhale it through the nose. In yoga, we try and have our breath be in and out through the nose only versus the mouth. That helps to oxygenate our muscles, helps to move the energy in the body. And now bring your hands to your heart center. Bring the palms to touch, the fingers to touch, and gently resting the thumbs against the breastbone. And take a moment to set an intention. And it can be as simple as just taking mindful, regulated breaths. It could be maybe to invite compassion for yourself, for others. Or maybe it's just to really enjoy this hour that you're giving to yourself. And then we like to open our practice with the sound of Om. If you're not familiar with it, you can just listen. So let's take a full inhale and exhale it out. And then inhale. Flicker the eyes open and make your way into child's pose. So coming, you can start in hands and knees, and then take your knees out so they're as wide as your mat. Bring your toes to touch, and then move your sit bones back to your heels. Let the forehead drop to the mat, arms extended out in front, nice and relaxed. If your head isn't reaching the mat comfortably, you can place a block underneath it. And breathe here. So for those who are new to this class, if there's any poses that aren't comfortable for you to do, any poses that we move into, you're always able to take this pose instead if that pose isn't comfortable for you. So child's pose is a rest pose. It's also an opportunity to connect with your breath, to really focus on the inhales and exhales. Makes the exhales a little bit more powerful because you're against the mat. Check in with your body. Notice if there's any spots of tension, any areas that you want to pay attention to. When we have tension in the body, we can use our breath to help encourage the body to release.
And those releases then give you the benefits of this practice. One more full inhale and exhale. And then on your inhale, lift up a little bit so your torso's lifting high enough where you can slide the left arm under the right and then drop back down, turning the cheek, your left cheek to the mat. So threading the needle here in child's pose. Breathe in and breathe out. Again, being your own self-study. So if you're feeling tightness in the shoulder, send the breath to that area. If you feel like you can open up that right side a little bit more with the breath. On your next inhale, begin lifting up, slide that left hand back out in front. And then slide the right arm under the left, coming to the other side. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Allowing yourself to be present on your mat. No place else to be but right here. And then inhale, lifting that right arm back up through and pressing up to tabletop. So find alignment here where your knees are in line with your hips. Straight line from your hips to the outer edge of your knee. Stack your shoulders in line with elbows and wrists. Spread the fingers. Arms are straight, and now draw the navel in. Draw your belly button in like it's moving back toward the spine so you feel that engagement in your core. And then on an inhale, lift the crown of your head, lift your tailbone, tilting the pelvic down. And then exhale, draw the navel in even more, round the spine, tuck your chin to your chest. And inhale, opposite, lifting the crown, lifting the tailbone. Exhale into cat pose. One more round, inhale into cow, feel that opening across the heart space. And exhale into cat. And then come back to neutral. Walk the hands to the top corners of your mat. Keep your hips over your knees. And then begin to lower, keeping the arms straight. Arms are fully extended as you lower, forehead down to the mat. So maybe similar feel to child's pose a little bit. So lift that up. So you're melting the chest, yeah, melting the heart space toward the mat. Breathe in, breathe out, feel that opening across the whole thoracic area. Another full inhale and exhale. On your inhale is when you lift up and walk the hands back under the shoulders and grab one of your blocks. Place it in between your thighs as high up toward the pubic bone as you can. So we're gonna pay attention to our pelvic area, working on our pelvic and our hips today. So come back to tabletop. So working on a forward tilt and a reverse tilt. So come into cow, lifting the sit bones. You feel the block move back. So your thighs just rotated inwardly. Now move into cat. The thighs moving externally, the blocks pushing a little forward. Come back into cow, you're tilting your tailbone up. This is called a forward tilt because your pubic bone is moving toward the mat. And then move into cat, and you'll be in a reverse tilt. You're tucking your tailbone, drawing the navel in. And then come back to neutral and remove the block. One more warm up for our hips here. Lift the right knee out to the side. Flex that right foot. So you're in a 90-degree angle, making an L shape. So lifting it up, there you go, Rose. And now circle that knee in. Make big circles, opening up that right hip. It's like hand on the belly and patting. And now take the circle the other way. So it really takes your concentration to move the body in a way that's a little different. All right, lift it back up. Take one breath. See if you can extend that leg out. And now lower that right foot down. Inhale, right arm up. Open the chest, spiral the chest open. So good, everyone. Yep. Good game. Lift that right hip maybe a little bit more. Feel that opening in the chest. And then lower it down. Come back to tabletop, and we'll do the other side. Inhale the left knee up. Flex that left foot. Find that 90-degree angle. And then begin to make circles with that left knee. Heading into that left hip. And reverse the direction. And then we're going to lift it back to 90-degree, holding here and maybe extending that left leg out to the side. Take a full breath. On the exhale, lower it down. And then inhale, left arm up. Spiral the chest open. So that left arm is beaming straight up. Nice line of energy from the right hand across the chest, out through those left fingertips. Try and relax that left shoulder. And then exhale, lowering that left hand down, bringing the left knee in. Take another child's pose, but keeping the knees together. Pushing the seat back to your heels. Wrap your arms around your legs. Drop your more of the crown of the head down to the mat. So more of a rounded child's pose, and exploring how this feels versus the other one. And if this is more comfortable for you, if you ever want to take child's pose, you can choose which one you like. Round, just let him relax. So now we're going to lift up into, who I just linked? No, tuck the in inversion. Tuck the toes under, reach back, wrap your hands around your heels, and then come to the crown of your head. So that part of your head as if you were balancing books on it, and lift your sit bones up as you push your heels away from you, feeling that stretch. Everybody feel that in their shoulders? Good, good. And really press onto the crown of your head a little bit as you lift your sit bones up a little higher. Beautiful. Camel. No, not camel. Oh my God. Angela, help me out.
I can't even notice.
It's instead of headstand.
Funny.
Rabbit.
Rabbit pose. Oh my goodness.
Collaborative. All right, roll out of it And then come to your heels and lift up onto your knees. So sitting up on the knees, inhale the arms overhead. Exhale, come into child's pose. Inhale, lifting to tabletop, pressing your seat to your heels, and then lift up on your knees. Sweep the arms overhead on your inhale. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale to tabletop. Exhale, press back so you get that extension in the arms, and then lift up overhead. And exhale to child's pose. We're gonna add knees, chest, chin now, and cobra. Inhale, come to tabletop. Rotate your elbow creases to face the top of the mat, and then bend your elbows. Lower chin and chest down, sit bones sticking straight up, and then inhale, slide forward onto the belly. Draw your elbows toward each other, hug them in, press into the tops of the feet. Inhale, lift the upper body into cobra. And then exhale, lower down, tuck your toes under, push your seat back to your heels. This time we're lifting to downward dog. Lift the sit bones, lift your hips straight up as you press the low belly back toward your thighs, as you press your chest back toward your knees. Arms are fully extended. And breathe here. Make some organic movemts. Pedal out your downward dog, bending one knee, dropping the heel of the alternate. Breathing in and breathing out. Finding your downward dog. And then look between your hands. Begin to walk one footprint at a time to the top of your mat. Inhale, lifting up halfway, coming to a flat back. And then exhale, begin to hinge, bringing the low belly toward your thighs, coming into forward fold. So in forward fold, you can modify if this is really, really deep for your hamstrings or pain in your low back. You can bend your knees a little bit. You can also place your hands on one block or two blocks. So this is where focus on you and not your neighbor. There are those who can very naturally bring fingertips to the floor, and it just doesn't work for others, and that's okay. It doesn't mean that you're any less flexible. So make the modifications that are going to benefit you in the practice. Relax the neck, maybe shake the head yes and no. And now everybody put a deep bend in their knees and roll up to standing. Make the head the last to come up, shoulders lift up to the ears, draw the shoulder blades back. Tadasana, and reach for your block. So another little teaching for that pelvic tilt. So once again, that wonderful between the thighs and as high as you can make it. Feet come in so they're hip distance apart. Bring your hands to your hips. So begin to, so I might turn sideways, I might see better. So begin to bring the sit bones out. See what happens with the block, it's going back. My thighs are inner rotating to make that happen. So I am exaggerating that, but then bringing the pelvic forward, the block moves forward. So it's very important in our poses to find balance between the tilts. A lot of us have a posterior tilt. Naturally, I do. So I have to be mindful to pull my ribs in when I'm in certain poses so I don't hurt my low back. So finding the balance between the tilts, doing this exaggerated movement will help you. So now begin to bring that tailbone back. Feel the block move back. Now, come forward a little bit, rounding maybe of the low back. Inhale, pressing the pelvic forward, getting that forward tilt. And then exhale, reverse tilt, a tucking of the tailbone. Inhale, forward tilt. Exhale, reverse tilt. One more. Inhale, now feel your belly engage as you do it. So draw the navel toward the spine and relax. Any questions on that? Okay, because we're gonna do that. I'm gonna cue that in downward dog, that tilt. That engagement of your core, I can't emphasize it enough how much it will help you in your practice. And as we're all aging, a good friend of mine just told me how her father-in-law can't even like stand up on his own anymore. And that is all core. So I encourage you, daily life, don't use your hands to stand up. Use your core. We're gonna use it here. All right, so putting the blocks away, we're gonna come into Tadasana. Hands facing the mirrors. So now just play around for a moment of doing forward tilt, reverse tilt, and then find the middle. Find the middle for you, where you feel balanced. And that is yoga. That middle spot, that balance is yoga. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, as you hinge forward, forward tilt. Bring that tailbone up a little bit so you can lengthen your spine as you come into your forward fold. Might feel a little different. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, bend your knees, plant your hands, and step both feet back to plank pose. Engage the belly. Inhale, as you exhale, lower your knees. Hug your elbows in as you bend them, lowering chin and chest down. Inhale, slide forward onto the belly, pressing into the tops of your feet. Lift up into cobra on your inhale. And exhale, lower down, tuck your toes under, push your seat back to your heels, arms fully extended, so that when you lift your hips up, you come right into downward dog. Hold downward dog, 5 breaths. Breathe in, and breathe out. If you feel like you can't get the full extension, shorten your stance just a little bit. And then lifting the hips up. Beautiful. Keep breathing. Maybe the heels can drop down toward the mat just a little bit more. And now look between your hands. Walk 1 footprint up at a time to the top of your mat. Inhale, lifting up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms around overhead, palms touch. Exhale, hands to heart center. Tadasana. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, think about that forward tilt as you come into Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, bend the knees, take the right leg back. Low lunge and drop that right knee down. Uncurl the toe. Inhale, sweeping the arms up, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, hands to heart center, twist to the left. Maybe hook that right elbow to the left knee and press your palms into each other. Opening that left side of your chest. Maybe the gaze is at your left elbow. One more full breath. Draw your hips toward your midline to help with balance. And then come to center, arms float overhead. Exhale, hands down to the mat. Tuck the right toe under to lift up. Take that left leg back, downward facing dog. Look between your hands, walk or lightly hop your feet up to the top. Inhale to a half lift. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands, take the left leg back, low lunge, and drop that left knee down and curl your toes. Inhale, sweep the arms up by the ears. Anjaneyasana, take an inhale. Exhale, hands to heart center, twist to the right, hooking that left elbow to right knee, pressing palm into palm. Engage your navel, draw the hips to the midline to help with balance. Inhale, exhale, come to center, float the arms up, and then down to the mat, tucking the left toes under and lifting up. Take that right leg back, downward dog. Take a few breaths here or take a child's pose. Full inhale and exhale. Full inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Look between your hands, lightly hop or walk the feet up to the top of your mat. Inhale, lifting up halfway. And exhale, hold. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead, palms to touch. Exhale, hands to heart center. Tadasana. Bring your hands to your hips. Start sitting back as if you're skiing, a skier. Exaggerate your forward tilt. Really stick your sit bones out. And now begin to reverse the tilt. Find that balance. Feel your spine nice and long in chair pose. And then stand up. Everybody feel that difference? Yeah. I'll do it from this side too. So hands to hips. Bring your seat back, your knees come behind your toes. Exaggerate the forward tilt. Really stick your sit bones out. And now tuck the tailbone, rounding the spine a little bit. Maybe lift the arms up by the ears. 5 full breaths. Breathe in to the belly. Draw the navel in. Use your core to help you in this pose. Check in with your knees, making sure they're behind the toes. Everybody's spines look great. So you want to feel like your arch is not there. Inhale, on your exhale, straighten your legs. Come down into Uttanasana. Maybe rock forward a little bit onto the balls of your feet. Rock back to your heels, lifting your toes. Couple times, rock forward and back. Might feel that, how it changes in the hamstrings. And then inhale, lifting up halfway. And exhale, plant your hands, walk your feet back so you're coming to downward dog. So find downward dog. And I want everybody to lift their heels up so you're on your toes. Bend your knees, tilt the tailbone up. Find that forward tilt so your sit bones lift toward the ceiling, and now straighten the legs and drop the heels down. Lift back up, lift your heels up, come on your toes, bend your knees, do that forward tilt so your sit bones lift up toward the ceiling. And now straighten the legs. Let the heels drop. Now lift the right leg up. So 3-legged dog, but level your hips. Steve, way too high. There you go. Focus on leveling your hips. Press through the right heel, as if you want that heel to reach the windows. Feel the lengthening. And You should also feel a little bit of a forward tilt in the pelvis. Lower that right leg. We'll do the other side. Lift the left leg. Only go as high to keep your hips level. And then get long. Press that left heel back. Feel a little bit of a forward tilt so that your thigh feels internally rotated. And then lower that leg down. Everybody bring your knees to the mat. Take a child's pose. Maybe knees are wide. A nice restorative child's pose here. Recall your intention. Invite the breath in to just calm your nervous system down. Moving the energy through the body. Feeling that balance between the tilts, balancing out our tailbone. And then inhale, begin to lift back up. So you're coming to tabletop, hands and knees. Extend the legs out so you're coming to plank pose. Lift the sit bones, moving into downward dog. Look between your hands, either walk the feet up or lightly hop. Lift up to a flat back. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms as you press into the feet, engage the core, arms overhead, palms to heart center, Tadasana. Have your blocks, place them at the top of your mat, just like I have them, at the highest height, about shoulder distance apart. All right, find Tadasana. So we're gonna do a sequence here, moving from, this is really gonna get into our hips, but we're gonna be mindful of our pelvis in these movements. So from Warrior One, which is the front hip opener, then we're gonna move into Warrior Three using the blocks. We're gonna lower back down, low lunge, lizard, and then half Hanumanasana, which is the half split. It's gonna be fun. So find Tadasana and find that balance in your pelvic. Inhale, arms overhead, bring them to heart center, then to your hips. Put a little bend in your knees and take the right leg back. Drop the right heel. Right toes on a 45-degree angle and just look down. Make sure that your heels, that right foot isn't behind the left. So we're standing on 2 planks of wood. Maybe a little deeper bend in that left knee. Square the hips forward so they're in line with the top of your mat, and then float the arms up by the ears. Warrior One. Settling in here, you can make little adjustments. If you feel like you have a little bit more space, shimmy the toes forward. Think about lengthening the back leg. Everybody relax your shoulders away from your ears. Turn your pinkies in toward each other to help externally rotate the shoulders. One more full inhale into the belly, expand that torso, and then exhale, lower the arms, torso to left thigh. Inhale, sweep them back up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, one more, lower down. Bring them back up, and this time, reach for the blocks. Press into that left foot. Lift the right leg. Just like in three-legged dog, lift it only as high as where your hips are level. And then flex that right foot and press through the heel as if you're standing on the back wall. try turning the toes toward the mat. There you go, nice. So you're flexing the foot and now really lengthen. Feel the strength of that left leg supporting you. Lift your heart. Put a bend in the left knee and lower that right foot to the mat as far back as you can, coming in to low lunge. Right leg fully extended in the back. Now take your left hand, put it to the inside of the left foot, heel toe that left foot to the outside edge of your mat, that left edge, coming into extended lizard. So you can stay here with the right leg lifted, arms extended, or you can drop the right knee down and curl the toe. You can keep the arm straight still, or you can use your blocks under your hands and then maybe lower to your forearms. Keep hugging that left knee in toward your left shoulder. So deep stretch for our left hip. Deep stretch for the top of the right thigh. Hug that left knee in toward left shoulder. Breathe in, breathe out. Think about a lizard's chest, how it puffs its chest. So see if you can invite a little bit more openness into the chest. We have one more full breath here. Once we go past 5 counts in a pose, it really helps with the release. And then lifting up, straighten your arms. Begin to heel toe that left foot in back to center. Now shift the hips and bring your blocks with you. Place the blocks underneath your shoulders. So see how I just stacked my shoulders with my hips? So to come in a half Hanumanasana, you want your right hip and your right knee to be in line. Flip the left toes up. So you're on your left heel. So half Hanumanasana stretches the left hamstring. You can deepen this by bringing the blocks down a level and then start to hinge forward over that left leg. Maybe lower if you have the space, lower the blocks even more, or maybe even hands down to the mat. If you are surrendering over that left leg, let the head be heavy. So important to keep our pelvic balance. Nice adjustment, everyone. I saw some people drew that right hip forward. That's what you want to do so that the hips are staying squared and the pelvic is balanced. So begin lifting up, rock forward onto the left foot, tuck the right toes under, lift up, and then bring that right foot to meet the left, come up halfway, and fold Uttanasana. Hang like a Raggedy Ann doll, hold opposite elbows, maybe sway a little bit from side to side, just releasing some of that energy. Nice job, everyone. We got the other side to do. So however you want to come to standing, if you want to roll up or sweep the arms overhead. And then find Tadasana. Just close your eyes for a moment. Take a full inhale and exhale it out. Have the blocks positioned at the top of your mat for Warrior 3. Inhale, sweep arms overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center, to your hips. Little bend of the knees, and then take that left foot back. Plant the heel. Take a moment to square the hips forward. Right knee tracking with the second toe. So you don't want your knee to be falling out to the right or left. And then floating arms up. Settling in here. Warrior one. Relax shoulders, let them drop away from the ears. Turn the pinkies in toward each other. Focus on your breath. Smooth it out. Take an inhale. Exhale, lower torso, sweep the arms down, and then inhale, sweep them back up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift up. You know where we're going. Reach for your blocks. Push off that right foot, lifting the left. Focus on leveling the hips. Press that left heel to the back of the room. Feel really strong in that standing leg. Lift your heart, open your heart. Turn the left toes toward the mat a little bit. Press through that heel a little bit more. Now bend the right knee. Take that left leg all the way back, coming to your low lunge. And then walk heel toe, the right foot out, taking the right hand to the inside of that right foot. Finding lizard on this side. Left leg fully extended. Lower that left knee down as an option. Maybe use blocks under your hands. And keep your arms straight. Hug that right knee into your right shoulder. Option to lower to forearms. And breathe. Find that edge, your own personal edge. One more full breath. Begin to come out by straightening the arms. And then we're going to walk that right foot back into center. Shift the hips back, bring your blocks under your shoulders, setting up for half Hanumanasana on this side. So our pelvic is facing forward and level. So then turn your right toes up. Check in, make sure your left hip and left knee are in line. And then take this as deep as you want to. It might not match the other side. And you can use your breath to lower. You don't have to lower all at once. You can do it little bit at a time with your exhales. Keeping the pelvic balanced is important here, just like in pigeon pose. Helping our hamstrings to relax, helps our knees, helps our low back. One more full breath and then inhale, lifting up. Rock forward on that right foot. Tuck the left toes under and then step that left foot to meet the right. Inhale, lifting up halfway. Exhale, fold, hang like a Raggedy Ann doll again. Release that energy. And then grab your blocks, place them on either side of your feet. Press your hands into the blocks as you come up on your toes, lowering your heels to, sorry, your sit bones to your heels. Tiptoe squat. So support your hands, or maybe for a breath, find the balance, bringing hands to heart center. And then everyone's gonna lower down all the way to your backs. So bridge pose is a beautiful counter pose. Not Shavasana yet. So bridge pose is a great counter to lizard and Hakonamannasana. We're gonna hold bridge for 8 counts. So set up well, bring your heels back toward your sit bones. Knees, make sure your knees stay in line with your hips. And then on an inhale, press into your feet, lift your hips up. With each exhale, maybe lift the back a little higher. So you're working your chest towards your chin. Keep your nose facing the ceiling. We try and keep our head from turning in bridge to protect the neck. Feel your breath move from your low belly up to the collarbone and back down. Try and make your inhales match your exhales. Terry, bring your feet a little closer together. Yeah, there you go. 2 more full breaths here. And then on your exhale, slowly lower down. 1 vertebrae at a time, and then hug your knees into your chest. Rock from side to side, massage out that low part of your back, known as our sacrum. And then moving into our revolved abdomen twist. So drawing the knees into the chest, let your arms float out to the side. So they're in line, they're coming straight out from your shoulders. Feel your shoulder blades roll down in the back. And now hug the knees in and lower them down to the left. If you need a block, place it in between your thighs to support your low back. So the goal is that your knees are dropping, but that right shoulder is staying on the ground. Breathe in and breathe out. Smoothing out the breath. And now using your core to lift the knees back to center. Find a neutral spine before taking it over to the other side, keeping the arms where they are. Starting to lower the knees down to the right, shift the block to the side. You want to use it as a support. Try and let that left shoulder stay grounded on the mat. Palm face up can help that. So our spinal twist constrict our intestines, our stomach, our whole digestive system, which then when we release, it helps the toxins to release out of the body. Use your core, lift the knees back to center. Hug hug them in a little bit more and lift your forehead up to the knees, making a nice tight yogi ball. Breathe into the back of the neck. Lower the head. Extend the legs straight up. Feet facing the ceiling. So just about 30 seconds here in legs up, also called Vipariti Karani. Find balance here with your sacrum. If you feel like your legs are moving too close to the chest, move them back a little bit so your sit bones and sacrum feel grounded. And begin to feel the breath in your belly. Feel the shoulders rolling toward the mat. Take the legs out wide for a supine Upavista Konasana. Maybe place the hands on the inside of your thighs, helping the inner groin muscles to relax. Draw the soles of the feet together. Maybe reach the hands for the outside of your calves. Use your elbows to separate the knees. Relax the belly. Lower the feet to the mat, coming into Supta Baddha Konasana. And then extend the legs out, slide the feet. Coming onto the back, lift your chin up. Look down at your toes. Make sure your body is symmetrical. And then lower the head. Push through the heels to lengthen the legs, and now separate the legs a little bit so feet are in line with your shoulders. Let the feet flop out to the side. Flip your palms up if they aren't already, and then slide the arms away from your body about 45 degrees. Press into the backs of the arms, lifting the chest a little bit. Slide your shoulder blades down. And bring your attention to your pelvic. Are you feeling a natural tilt? See if you can smooth it out a little bit. Letting your back relax onto the mat. So finding Shavasana here, finding our rest pose, the opportunity for our practice to sink in. Sharing a poem from Sadaka. Hardest yoga posture of all, to just lie still and let it fall. Thoughts and ego, hopes and fears, lust and love, sweat and tears. To lie there still and to just be present, fully. Eyes don't see, ears don't hear, no senses impede. Upon the sublime bliss of mine, I've climbed the mountain, and now I'll be content on the summit of this thing called me. Letting all my muscles relax, let my ego collapse. Perhaps the hardest thing of all, to still the chattering of the mind, to lose the ego and to find myself and lose it, slip through the wall. Shavasana. Letting your breath become involuntary. Let the tongue drop away from the roof of your mouth. Feel your jaw relax and release. Begin to deepen your breath. And begin to invite small movements back in, wiggling your fingers and your toes, circling wrists and ankles, maybe figure eights with your hands. If it feels good, sweep the arms overhead on an inhale, get nice and long. Then draw the knees into your chest, roll onto your right side in this very comfortable fetal position. Take a couple breaths there to become more aware, awakening the spine. Deepen the breath. Press into the left hand when you're ready to lift up. Finding a comfortable seat, crossing the legs, keeping the eyes closed or at a soft gaze. When you've found your seat, think about rooting down through the sit bones once more, straightening, lifting, lengthening the spine, and then bringing hands to your heart center. Bow your head softly. Take a moment to thank yourself. Thank yourself for taking this time, for being present, even if just for a moment in the hour you realized that you didn't think about anything else. That is yoga. Let's seal the practice with an Om. Take a full inhale and exhale it out. Inhale. The light in me sees and honors the light in each of you. Namaste. Namaste. And if you had one moment, those get bigger and bigger and bigger the more you practice. Thank you all so much. I will teach next week, but then the Monday after Christmas, I'll be away with my kids up to New Jersey. So we'll miss that week, but then back on the 3rd. So I don't know. I know Sue can't sub. She's going away too. You want to leave?
Like,
27th.
I might even bring one of my kids home on that day. Yeah, otherwise I would.
Thank you, our friends at home. Thank you all so much. Hope to see you next week. Ladies, thank you for joining us. It was like all the way through.
That was so great.
I have to unlock that again.
And
you have to be brave. We're our tall friends. Did you like that? And I read that I guess because you're stretching. So you're in that hip and then you're reversing it and getting into the hamstring. So it's fun. Yes. Yeah. Well, and one of my friends, I mean, I really like it. So so are you gonna try it? You were saying, Thank you. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I could see a little bit. Chiropractor would have field day with you. But this